First of all, and I'll say this over, and people started saying, like, you don't need to say that. Yes, I do need to say this. We're not telling anything.
No.
We're only sharing from our perspective. And because of that, we're respecters of your perspective. That's what this language is. It's about creating our own little micro, but I don't want to encroach on you. So it greatly assists us when saying, well, this connects from my perspective to this. And then it gives us opportunity to then meet you from our perspective to wind it together. This is how family is knit. And so we're not telling you anything. We're only simply sharing from a perspective. And we greatly appreciate your time, because we know that it's a value. It's currency to us. And so we want to respect and fit in where we're not bogging down with just a tornado and a rock that is like, that just sits in my gut and it's not digesting. We want to do a service to you by breaking it down, fragmenting it out a little bit, and assisting on a greater level, because that's why you're here.
Yeah. The other thing, another housekeeping, because Ken said what he said about us sharing, but the other housekeeping element that I want to share with you guys is something that Regina and I were talking about here a couple days ago. It is very, very important for me, and I'm just going to throw this out there for you guys to think about, process, see what your heart says, that we're in a place where we're auditing the difference between things that we think versus things that we know. Because we're in a place where we're dealing with heart space more than anything right now. Ken and I have always shared that it's always been about the heart. It's a heart matter. And I've seen that repeatedly through the languages. Even when I was entering into the Hebrew roots movement, when I was in there for a while, it was still speaking to me that everything is a heart posture and a heart matter. And it's not about the mind. It's not about the head. It's not about the ego. Yes, we want to have heart-brain coherence, but unless we get this thing, unless we come from the place of knowing in here, we are going to be stuck with ego in our head. So the things that I am sharing with you are coming from the language in what I'm seeing in the language. It may not be completely known in my heart yet. If I'm stumbling on my words, you will know. I'm telling you a telltale sign, okay? This is a telltale sign that Carrie still has not fully manifested what she is sharing. These are my findings. This is my report. This is the blueprint. But our application is what is necessary of taking this information, wrestling with it however we need to, because usually new information, the ego is going to rise up. And that's a beautiful thing. And we need to stop demonizing the darn ego. It has been very helpful. It's been very useful, but it also has been a stumbling block for a lot of us in our things. So as this information comes in, allow the wrestle to take place. Don't resist it, just work through it and allow this stuff to drop. So if I start stumbling on things today, you will know that I'm wrestling with this issue. And I already laid out to you, I'm in Rakam, I'm not in Huba right now. So there could be a lot of that. Second, when I am going to try to do my best, and I say try, not as a way to get out of this, but to speak things from that also of which I know. Many of us have taken in information from talking heads that will share things with us. And I got really convicted about this. I got really convicted about this, about belief systems versus things that we know. You will hear people speak of experiences, and they will come across as telling, as if it is fact. The ego will take that, and then the ego will adopt it as something that is known without having experienced it. And unfortunately, in the Greco-Roman mindset, where we have been really indoctrinated, like our whole education system in the West has been based upon this. Even the Bible is based upon the Greco-Roman mindset, right? Greek to English, Roman, don't even need to go there. But because we've been raised in that and our minds have been fortified in that, we have continued to adopt these principles. And I am going to say this right now because I'm saying it to myself here. And I say this with Racham, moving towards Huba. I do not care what you believe. I care what you know. The difference is the ego thinks it knows something. The heart experience says, I've already experienced it, and so therefore I know it. So to land that plane, I care about what your heart knows, not what your mind thinks. And that's the posture that I would love to see you guys take with me as well. And if you see something that is not matching up, if there is anything that comes across that is not authentic, let's have a discussion about it. Because I need your help just as much as anyone else. I'm not anybody other than just one of you. I'm just sharing my findings. Okay, so that's my housekeeping before we start anything out on this, because I'm just one of you, and we're walking this thing out together, and it's like we're bringing our own little pieces and going, here, this is what I have to bring to the table. And watch your words. I think whenever you say, I think, you know where you shifted. I think this is what's going on. And I'm going to do my best to be able to catch that in loving kindness, not to bash anybody, but I may turn around and say, is that what you really know? Like I said, Regina and I just talked about this a couple of days ago. And you will find that when talking heads, and I'm saying talking heads, not even in a negative sense, even though it sounds like it is, but when people are talking from that place, they don't have authority in their voice. It's not there. Their throat chakra isn't activated. And you can tell the difference, especially if somebody's trying to force something. Now, I'm not talking about natural exuberance, but if somebody's trying to force something, it's force. It's not edification. And as soon as they use the word, I think, then you know that they're trying to dot connect up here instead of connecting with their innate, with the spirit, with the soul in here. That will lead us into all truth. So that's just kind of my little caveat here before we start with, because I need to hear that. I need to hear that repeatedly over and over and over again until it fully sinks right here. And that's the standard that I would love to see all of us adopt. But it means we have to have open and honest conversations with ourselves. And sometimes that's the hardest thing to do. So I'm about ready to cry. And it's all good. It's all good. All this stuff needs to happen. So if I've presented things to you in the past out of ego, I ask for your forgiveness. And when I say that, I'm asking forgiveness of myself, of my ego, that my heart would forgive my ego for doing those things. So namaste, all of you. Namaste. Oh, by the way, you know that mudra when they put their hands in front of the heart, you know why they do that? Do you guys know why they do that when they say namaste? It's so that they can connect to their heart. It's like it's put their hand together and they put it on their heart. Oh, that just gave me goosebumps. So that when they say namaste, that they recognize that they're saying it from their heart and not their head. And bringing it from here to here, namaste. Ooh, that gave me goosebumps again. From that third eye through the heart chakra and into the heart, so that it's being authentic when we're saying namaste as well, so that we feel it. Anyway, that's good. I needed to connect there. I'm getting back into Hupa. Okay. I am excited.
This is the seesaw that I deal with all the time. I'm right here. Like, this is right.
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, that was a huge shift. That was a huge shift. That's funny. I just got myself into Hupa. Namaste. I connected with it. I say I'm excited, and then the joy bubbles start coming. That is funny. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, thank you, Spirit. See, this is what Rakam does for you. When you allow the Spirit to have compassion and you embrace it, you can easily shift out of it. All I needed to do was breathe.